Hello everybody, this is Napa Fan here on the NOFSRL channel, and we are here at the Las Vegas Motor Speedway to begin. NOFSRL goes west, gonna qualify here for the Braille Battery 400, and we begin with unchartered qualifying here in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series. Definitely excited to see the return of the Turkey Hill Hot Seat program, but before we get to anything else, of course, it's been one wild week in the world of NASCAR, let me tell you that much, but all of us here in the NOFSRL cannot be any more thankful that Ryan Newman is safe and sound. That was something else, that's all I gotta tell you, but definitely great to hear that news on Wednesday, that he was alright. Of course, I'm not sure how long he's gonna be out of the ride, but hey, what matters is that he's doing well, and he's with his family, and we're thinking about you still. And wow, that's all I gotta say. That was something else. Hopefully, we will never have to go through something like that again. But either way, we're here at Las Vegas in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series, and we had a great race at Daytona for the Daytona 500. For the first time ever, the second race is at Las Vegas as Atlanta moves to race 5 this season, so going to be interesting to see how this shorter race plays out as the second race of the year. But I'm going to go ahead and go over the guys who qualified this week for the Turkey Hill Hot Seat. Of course, if you went inside the Discord, you saw the list in each group. And each group has a certain number of Turkey Hill Series drivers, and whoever finishes highest of that group will attempt to qualify in next week's ride. So the 07 is going to be Dillon Young, the 08 is Mark Allen, the 21 is Josh King, the 55 is Logan Williams, the 57 is Mitchel Collins, 67 Trey Smith, last week's winner in the Turkey Hill Series, 71 is Jordan Lopes, and the 98 is Parker Smith. Those are the drivers who will be attempting here today. And got one driver here, number 71, Jordan Lopes. Top 2 fastest times will advance on and race in tomorrow's Braille Battery 400. Also go for the pole once we are done here with the uncharted qualifying session. Right now, though, the fastest driver is the number 21 machine of Josh King. Josh King in his first ever Napa Fan start finished 3rd at Daytona last week in the Turkey Hill Series, and I know this guy would love to make a Chick-fil-A Cup Series start. The 08 machine, which was in the Daytona 500 with Christian Vargas behind the wheel, almost won the Daytona 500 with Christian Vargas behind the wheel. Currently second fastest, that's Mark Allen in that machine. We'll have to see how the times play out here in this session. There's the 07 of Dillon Young. Of course, Dillon Young has made a Chick-fil-A Cup Series start before. Same with Jordan Lopes. They are the only 2 drivers, I do believe, who are attempting to qualify here in this session who have made a Chick-fil-A Cup Series start before. Trey Smith finally getting out there in the 67. We'll have to see what Trey Smith can do. Heard he's going to be starting up front in the Turkey Hill Series race later today. Of course, we don't broadcast qualifying for the Turkey Hill Series, but they're going to be racing at 6 p.m. Eastern Time over on Napa Fan here on this Friday night. So we're looking forward to see who gets it done in that 40-lap race in just about less than an hour here. Still a 21 in the 08 machine. Great job out of Josh King in that 21 machine for Hamill Racing Enterprises. Of course, they actually won the pole last week with Gatlin Downey, or it was 2 weeks ago when Downey won that pole. Looks like the 08's going to hope that his time's enough. Mark Allen, great run for him. Of course, both Mark Allen and Josh King made their first career Napa Fan starts last week. We'll have to see if they can make their first career Chick-fil-A Cup Series starts this week. They're beating guys like Jordan Lopes and Dillon Young out here, and of course, Trey Smith. Trey Smith has solidified himself as a pretty good driver. He's relatively new to Napa Fan, but 2 career wins, including that one win he had last week, the North State Racing number 67. Of course, North State Racing won the Daytona 500 with Alexander Rowe last week. So you know that these guys have a very solid program. Of course, this 67 has been an uncharted ride for all 3 of the custom series we've had in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series, I should say. But Trey Smith is the slowest guy right now in this session. And with that in mind, I don't believe he's going to make it only unless something miraculous happens. But let me tell you, after what we saw with Ryan Newman, anything is possible. He did improve his time right there. It's not going to be enough to advance to the top 2 positions. So with that, I do believe it's going to be Josh King and Mark Allen making their first career Chick-fil-A Cup Series starts tomorrow in the Braille Battery 400 at Las Vegas, 1 p.m. Eastern. Over on Napa Fan for the race. Going to be a good one to kick off the rest of the season here for the Chick-fil-A Cup Series after we had a really good one in the Daytona 500 last week. All the hype from that race is gone, and now the hype is on for the rest of the season, and we're going to have ourselves a good one here from Las Vegas. Tough break for the 55, Logan Williams there. He's not going to make the show. Dillon Young, Trey Smith. 57 was Mitchel Collins. Doesn't appear that he's going to make it. He will not. That's going to do it. Top two drivers advance. Josh King and Mark Allen going to be in tomorrow's Braille Battery 400, and they're going to join the other 40 full-time drivers here from the Las Vegas Motor Speedway to qualify for the Braille Battery 400. Let's go ahead and see who wins the pole for the second race of the season in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series. And here we go, ready to set the starting lineup for the second race of the season in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series, season number 9. And after that wild race we had at Daytona, it's going to be very interesting to see how this whole season plays out. Of course, the chase is back, and top 10 drivers advance on, plus 2 wild cards. And those 2 wild cards are 2 guys with the highest amount of points who have wins outside the top 10. Of course, that's going to be farther down the road in the summer. Right now, we're still in the middle of winter, but we're out west. Not cold out here. And these guys are ready to go to set the starting lineup for the second race of the season. Iquan has him in the number 64. He had a really good run going for him at the Daytona International Speedway, but I believe late in the going got caught up in a wreck. I can't exactly remember. I have a terrible memory. But he's going to be the first driver to start a lap here. Zachary Fitzwater right behind him in the number 9 machine. There is the 66 of LJ Semedo. Daniel McMillan in the 79. Also coming out, Sam Oskin in the 83. Eli Bright in the 33. Sebastian Kukulon. Mark Davidson sporting a new scheme this week. Sirius XM. They're going to be on board for almost half the season for this 95. There's Bradley Ream. Now, he had a really good run in the Daytona 500. Ended up finishing top 5 in that race in his first ever Chick-fil-A Cup Series start. He's never won a race on Napa Fan before. But he's looking pretty strong in that number 40 machine. And there's the 08 Mark Allen, who advanced on through unchartered qualifying not too long ago. There's Matt Dalio, Season 5 winner of the Braille Battery 400 at Las Vegas. Guy knows how to get it done. Daniel McMillan, excuse me, Matt Dalio just went to the top of the board. That's McMillan's old number, and I'm not used to it yet. Dalio fastest right now here in Las Vegas practice in qualifying. I'm reading into it too much. It's not practice, it's qualifying. They don't do group qualifying anymore, and because of that, it throws me off. We still do it here in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series just because it's the fast and easy way of doing it. But we don't actually do it anymore. But Matt Dalio's still the fastest. He improved his time, and he's looking very sporty in that number 75 machine. Mark Davidson in the 95, also looking fast. 92 of Reagan Whitlock is third. Jesse Turner, Nicolay Sykes. Turner and Sykes, they had a little incident together in last week's Daytona 500. Sykes went flying through the air, and Turner was the one who hit him. But they're all back here, and they're all running pretty well right now here in Braille Battery 400 qualifying. And Nathan Stapleton there, he's 8th fastest right now. Great run for Stapleton. He's only won once in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series before, but I have a feeling this might be a breakout year for that team. We'll have to see what they can do. There's Diego Yepez in the 88, last year's winner of this race. Wyatt Quayle in number 39. Race went caution-free last year. Don't know if that's going to be the case this year or not, but Wyatt Quayle definitely had a great outing last year in this event. It's only his third career, or third ever, Chick-fil-A Cup Series start, and he ended up getting the dub here at Las Vegas. So I know these guys are definitely excited for that. They have a very strong driver behind the wheel of that 39 machine, and have a good feeling about them. Brad Stover, second fastest. Of course, you know Stover's good, a 3-time winner in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series, Season 7 Rookie of the Year. Currently second fastest, but nobody has been able to knock off Matt Dallio yet in the 75. And Dallio got off to a really, really good start this year, winning the Meliolo Smooth Fest. As for the rest of Speed Weeks, he was kind of quiet. He didn't really show much strength in that 75, but take it is a super speedway where we were at last week, and it's not a good place to judge how you're going to be throughout the rest of the season. We have a lot of mile-and-a-half races on the schedule, a lot of intermediate tracks, and these are the places where you definitely want to watch out for, guys, because if you do good on a place like this, you're going to have a good season. And Dallio really fast right now, 29.024 for him, with Brad Stover just about a tenth slower in second. Patrick Smith in the number 30 machine currently runs third. Fisher G is fourth. Nikolai Sykes, Trey Bartow with a great run here in qualifying, and Trey Bartow will be joining us in the booth for today's Turkey Hill Series race, which will be live on Napa Fan at 6 p.m. Eastern. So he's got a lot to do today, but looking pretty good here in qualifying. Currently in the 6th position. Got Ace Garcia, Nathan Baird, 15 machine of... Gotta remember who's in the 15. Shane Lake. It's 9th, and then Mark Davidson there in 10th. A lot of veterans. As a matter of fact, the only rookies inside the top 10 are Nikolai Sykes and Shane Lake. Everyone else a veteran to the Chick-fil-A Cup Series there inside the top 10. And lots of times we have seen in prior years, especially early on in the season, that rookies have done a very good job. That was especially the case last year. Of course, we had a very strong rookie class last year. Wyatt Quayle, Nathan Baird, Mark Davidson, all those guys returning this year, all finishing top 3 in points last year. I don't think the rookie class this year is as strong as it was last year. We still got some strong players, like Thomas Troxel, like Bradley Ream. I think Bradley Ream's going to be a breakout star this year. Of course, that was the ride that won the championship in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series, season number 8. I think Shane Lake's also another guy to watch out for. And then you got guys like Gatlin Downey, who have been racing on Napa Fan for quite a while. Nathan Faden as well. I think they're also going to have strong runs. Brett Sierra's one of those guys we really don't know much of, but he did win his dual race during Speed Weeks last week, so you know he's good. I'll tell you one guy who is good. He set the fastest time early on, and no one has been able to get to him. Matt Dallio in the 75. Otter Island Motorsports definitely rebounding a little bit. Of course, Daytona is not, like I mentioned, it's not a place where you really want to measure your success through the whole season. But that team definitely had some struggles during Speed Weeks, with the exception of their Smooth Fest victory. But Matt Dallio here in the top position here for Braille Battery 400 qualifying. Of course, we still have about 3 minutes left. Anything is possible in these final few minutes, but it's looking pretty good right now for driver number 75 for Otter Island Motorsports, Matt Dallio, who I mentioned won this race in Season 5, so he knows how to get it in here in Las Vegas. As a matter of fact, he's won a race here in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series and the Turkey Hill Series. I believe they both came in the same year, back in 2016. It was a little while ago when that happened, but Dallio definitely a solid guy when it comes to racing here at Las Vegas, and I'd watch out for him as the season goes along. I think he's going to have a breakout year. Of course, won at Indianapolis last year, breaking a 2-year losing streak overall on Napa Fan. Had not even won a race on Napa Fan in those 2 years in any series, and finally broke it last September in Indianapolis. Nathan Stapleton just outside the top 10 right there. Reagan Whitlock in 12th. Cameron Garlington, a great run for Garlington. He's another guy to watch out for this year. Took a year off and has come back to the Chick-fil-A Cup Series. I'd definitely watch out for him. He is a Chick-fil-A Cup Series champion, so you know he's a solid driver. Mitchell Henderson there, Jesse Turner, Keegan Thompson, Brett Sierra, Thomas Troxel, Tristan Allen, and Wyatt Quayle, the top 20 right now. Take a look at the rest there. Someone else advanced their time. It was inside the 11th through 20th position, number 13 machine of Sebastian Kukulon up to 16th. Great run for him right there. And that pushes Wyatt Quayle on the 21st. And you got Fitzwater, John Arndt, Nathan Faden, Sam Adoskin, Erjo Larvin Alonso, Eli Bright, Daniel McMillan, Not up to par with his teammates in this one so far. Because the times are really close to each other here. And we actually we kept the range in the ratings for this race too. So, you know, you'd think they'd be a little bit farther apart than they are. McMillan there in 28th. The 29 machine, or the 29th position. The 22 machine of Gatlin Downey. LJ Samedo in 30th. Alexander Rowe. And we actually haven't even mentioned our Daytona 500 champion yet in this one. 31st. Not exactly how you want to back up a Daytona 500 victory, and keep in mind too, it's even though we have a chase, it's still points that matter, and if you're not consistent enough, you're not going to be battling for a championship once the chase begins in July. And Alexander Rowe right there, 31st, not exactly what he wanted coming into this race. However, he did qualify deep in the field. Actually qualified initially 47th for the Daytona 500. Moved his way through the duel, started 5th in the race, and ended up winning. Of course, he's not going to start that far up front here in this one. Ikwan Haslam 32nd, Silas Orta, Andrew Miller, Nicholas Samedillo, Cody Sill, Mark Allen, Bradley Reen, Josh King, Ryan Durrani, Dale Lightning, Diego Yepes. That is the full field. And we have a new fastest driver. It's Tristan Allen in the 06, who went out there and took the top position away from Matt Delio, and a couple of long-time veterans in that fan are going to be leading the field in tomorrow's race. How about that out of Tristan Allen for the 06 machine? Allen A-Dale Racing, they looked really strong in the 500 last week. Of course, with their unchartered car, and their unchartered car is making another run at it. With Mark Allen this week, they had Christian Vargas behind the wheel last week in the 500. He almost won the thing. The 06 machine, Tristan Allen, fastest driver. They actually have two Allens on their team this weekend. They got Mark Allen and Tristan Allen. And one of those Allens, Tristan Allen, will be leading the field of the green flag for the Braille Battery 400. Matt Dalio, Brad Stover, Trey Bartow, Patrick Smith, Fisher G. Highest rookie is Nicolay Sykes, going to be starting in the 7th position. Then Ace Garcia, Nathan Baird, and Shane Lake, the top 10. We got a couple of ties, a few ties, as a matter of fact. Mitchell Henderson and Jesse Turner, of course, those ties will be broken by championship points. I know we've only had one race, but we got something to go off of for that now, so that's how we're going to do it. Brett Sierra and Thomas Troxel also tied. I believe those are the only two ties, so we will break those ties and get the lineup set for tomorrow's race, 1 p.m. Eastern Time, over on Napa Fan, the Braille Battery 400 in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series. So thank you guys so much for watching. Congratulations to Tristan Allen, your pole sitter for the second race of the season here in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series. Will he get his first ever Chick-fil-A Cup Series win? We'll just have to see. I don't know how hard I have to knock on wood for him to do that, but someday he's going to get it. It might just be tomorrow. Thank you guys so much for watching, and in less than an hour, we got the Arco 300 in the Turkey Hill Series. Josh Williamson going to be leading the field of the green flag in that one. Hope you guys stick around over on Napa Fan for that one. Thank you guys so much for watching. Congratulations to Tristan Allen once again, and I will see you guys later.